Thank you for that tip. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the PDT, Platform Design Toolkit. There's also a PDF documentation of that one. You can reach it via the link here. I think Çağatay put it somewhere here.
It's right there where it says Platform Design Toolkit. It's the image.
Okay, I started with having the stakeholders of the system, and I don't know who entered this purple ones, but they're also true.
Purple would be me. I
Yeah,
was
really.
just thinking about it, and it was right after, you know, the voting, and I thought, you know, often we don't consider, we look for support, but we don't consider who could stop our projects for one reason or another, and that's why I put that in, those ones in.
Thank you, Melanie. So the stakeholders are the ones you see in the yellow nodes, and they are the ones that we know, that we already know. And there's a new one called Littlefish Ambassadors. So you can think of it as the Catalyst community advisors. So this canvas wants you to Ilyas, can you mute yourself, please?
Maybe we could just briefly mention what the entirety of the Platform Design Toolkit is for everyone to be on the same page. Maybe I can just give a little brief summary. It allows you to understand your entire platform. It's not a blockchain specific thing, but any token engineering guide really says to start with this. This will allow us to understand it better, along with the business model canvas and all the other types of maps that we can work on. It has several different maps. If you could zoom out just to briefly show the different bits. It allows you to see through very different perspectives on the entirety of the platform. It allows you to identify the stakeholders, the transactions between the stakeholders, and a lot more that we'll get through over the coming weeks.
Yeah, thank you, Çağatay.
Of course.
So it divides the stakeholders to main groups like activists, supporters, service providers, takers, and little fishes. And this is the ecosystem canvas. It wants you to put the peer consumers. Peer consumers are the people that don't relate to the infrastructure of the system, and they don't bother if the system goes down or up. They just have peer exchanges. So these are the entrepreneurs, activists, activism workers. Maybe you can think of the people like cat feeders or pet feeders, and NFT purchasers. Peer producers, the system itself is very important for them, and they want the system to grow. These are the people like influencers, artists, and donators. Because I put donators here because they will also get rewards from the donations that they make. The partners are Staples and Littlefish ambassadors. The Littlefish ambassadors are the people like Catalyst community advisors. They divide the system into several subgroups like cities or like the SDG parts such as poverty or equity, I can say. And at the center, there are little fishes. Do you have any questions till that point? If no,
so I like if you go no, because it's very interesting because you define here is the peer customers, as the basically the activists, right? They are our customers.
Yes.
And it's very important point that we all agree upon, because that's, I think, very important point. So yeah, I think it's good. I'm just saying that it's important point.
Right. I think we can look at it from many different perspectives. Like activists could be our producers as well, if you look at it from a different frame. It just depends on how we understand it.
Yeah, I mean, because of that, I put little fishes at the center at the same time, because we can be everyone, like artists or entrepreneurs or activists or donators. You can think of little fishes as everyone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you can. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, you can have two types of customers, right? Either you approach the donators and you say, the other customers, either the NGOs. I think it's the NGOs, but or the activists, the tools.
Yeah, I can put NGOs here.
No, not NGOs. I mean the activists, the way activists, entrepreneurs. But why NFT purchasers are customers?
Because they don't relate to the ongoing system, and they just purchase the things, and they want to have income, and I explained it here in detail.
Okay.
You divide it to subparts here in the ecosystem entity role portrait. In this portrait, we take activists and as the type of peer consumers. And you write the assets here. I'm sorry, I'm moving it all the time. They have the time and they have the audience. This is the most valuable assets. And their capabilities are, they know the local SDG issues, and they have the passion for activism. And their current goals, when you look at the situation, they want to protect the environment, and they want to find alternative job. And they want to live in a better world, as we all do. And they have the performance pressures. They need to be heard, and they feel alone, like the whole blockchain ecosystem, I think. And
okay, no, it's great.
Yeah, sometimes they need to be anonymous, and they need money to do things. So in this part, convenience gains, these are explained as the easy things to do in the first step. So they need a platform to be heard, and we will offer that platform to the activists. They will have a social identity, even it's anonymous or real ID, and they will earn from their actions. And after that, they will collect the badges, and they will meet like-minded people, and they will have the voting rights. As you know, we don't have any voting rights in Greenpeace or the United Nations and other NGOs, and they will have this one. For the value gains, they will have the self-esteem, change-making, making a better world, and democratization of resources, transparency. And this is by Melanie, I think, role model to others, and empowerment. There's a note here. Yes, the bureaucracy takes the 75% of total funds in the United Nations, as you know. So we will cope with that one. So this is similar. This is for staple operators. They have an interest in green energy. They have existing customer database, and they need branding. They need to receive IOHK or Cardano Foundation support. As you know, Cardano Foundation is supporting the staples that have some goal in sustainability. And I think we can offer them this by joining our system. So what they will take is the additional stakers and the delegation of the IOHK. So I want to go to the other part, like artists. This is for the artist.
It's amazing you did all of that.
Yeah, it took so much time, but it's okay. But I want to continue, but I need your opinions. In some parts, I'm stuck. I will show you. And this is the same for most of the same things are the same as we have in the activists as artists. They have the same needs. They have the same current goals, and they have to. What different is they have the time and the art, and they also have the passion for the activism. So they will similarly take the same advantages as the activists. This is a to-do. If you want to do it for another section or another group, you can do it here, or you can copy and paste it. I think we can do it for the NFT purchasers or the influencers. Influencers is a good topic. This is the ecosystem motivation matrix. It is I think the best part of this PBT. It gives you the ability to make cross comparisons and what an activist gives to another activist, or what an artist can give to another artist. And with that table, you can clearly identify what's going on here. So the activists will have the impact and the social system to meet each other and support each other. And this is the same for the artists. They will have the passion to create more. The influencers will give audience to the activists, and stakers, donators, and purchasers will give money to the activists. And this table is like that. If you have any comments on that one, we can talk about it.
I think it's incredible work, but it's just so much information that you worked on.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very interesting to read it.
Yeah, it enables us to do what to do first, and we can see everything clearly. So, like activists will give reason to create art to the artist, and activists will give income to the artist. This is the same for influencers, and they will have social impact and social responsibility rewards for the stakers, donators, and purchasers. So I think everything is clear here, right? I couldn't find anything for this cross relation to influencers. If you have any comments.
From now, I'm just overwhelmed by the information and by what you did. I think so. I need to digest all of that. It's amazing. I think it's very helpful tools. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
The only thing I'm thinking about maybe is a web. You know, if you had these different individuals, because some of them are arrows going back and forth. If you think about an influencer giving audience to an activist, activists also give audience to the influencers. You know, they add to their Twitter account because they're bringing in another community. Same thing.
So
yeah, same
we
thing
have to
with
put it here, okay?
Yeah, and same thing with artists. They also add audience to an influencer. Artists also possibly become stakers. They may be, you know, support. Yeah. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but
on that, it's very important what you say, Melanie. But I think my feeling, I don't know if they can need to choose for each one of them the prime. What's the prime reason somehow, no? Because there's something that provides 90% impact, and there's other thing that can be 5% impact. That's still important, but if we focus on the prime motivation, if it makes sense.
Yeah, okay, I can make it smaller.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about for a visual, because this one is a little bit hard for me to comprehend what you're trying to say. It's great that you're explaining it, and now it makes sense. But if you had that web of connection back and forth, that's what, and then maybe the 5% is a really skinny line back, but you know, a thicker line where the percent is higher towards something. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, like you said, to present it in a circle. Sorry, Noe, please.
I was just saying, they're using the canvas from the platform canvas. So the tool is like the one from this organization. But to read it, it's really that first column is the different stakeholders and what they give to the different columns is how to read it. And it's the ecosystem's motivation matrix. So I'm guessing this is really to understand what's the motivation for activists, artists, influencers, etc., to be involved here. And it can also help us as a group on how to market, how to speak to them, what language to use, and all that. So what it's really showing me is there's not one slide deck or message that we give to everybody. We need to tailor it to each of these. If we're talking to a donator or purchaser, their motivation is way different than an activist. And so we need to tailor our message based on their motivations and things. So I think it's super cool to see it kind of mapped out and think about it like that.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't go there because it takes so much time, and I'm stuck here. I think I have to read much more about this external stakeholders relationships. This is the relationships, and it wants you to have a very simple relationship as triangles, but I couldn't do that, but I will study over that one. So after that, I have a duty of filling that one, transaction board. There's the sample here, but it's very hard to understand. And I'm here right now. If you want to contribute this, I would love to have some time with you, but not today.
Yeah,
this is
very
the
important.
Yeah.
I mean, each one of these slides that you're doing can be a discussion, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so much information here.
Yeah,
I think
this is the most important part. Yeah.
That
Sorry.
maybe, yeah, sorry. Please check them.
Sorry. I think what we need to figure out is just fill these out, get a better understanding of them. And after we have a lot of information, and then we'll sift through it, focus on, figure out what we need to focus on to deliver the maximum value in the shortest amount of time. But this allows us to like see the entirety of the thing once we have all these boards. And it'll be a lot of information, of course, for us to actually start to understand what we have.
I have someone to help us in the process. If you're interested, a very, very good product guy that came from a company called TradeShift, and he left them recently. And he's going to be join Cardano for Climate, and very great guy. And this is what he does all day for companies, for projects. He's doing all these tables and relationships, and I think he would be happy to guide us in this. And maybe we can have, if it's okay, I'm happy to, I will share with him let me show you the link of him. Really great guy from Denmark. That time is going to come on Wednesday to Cardano for Climate. Magnus. I think can help us a lot in this process. I mean, what you did is amazing, but if you want to continue, if needed, if you think it's needed, by the way.
Does he have any relevant experience on platforms, something similar to this?
He worked for a company called TradeShift, which is $1.5 billion, I think, dollar blockchain company for banks. I just shared his LinkedIn. Really great guy, and yeah, and he worked there for 6 years. But I went with him. I did for him a process like this for a project in Indonesia that we worked. I worked with him together on that. And he reached out recently, and I told him what I'm doing, and he said, I love, impact and blockchain, and
Yeah, great.
it's an option. If we want just an option that
Yeah,
I came
why
up
not?
with.
Yeah. So let us share it when we finish it. Okay.
Yeah. It's your
Okay,
call.
great.
Just putting it there as an option.
Okay. We don't have so much to do for these three or four canvases we have left.
Okay.
And, yeah, this is the end for the canvas.
Amazing. This is why you didn't contact us for a week. You were working hard.
Yeah. Yeah. We are also writing the white paper. It's white paper. I didn't put my thoughts on the white paper yet, but I'm having a draft here. Chakan is working on the white paper right now.
Amazing.
And the last topic, I want to have a letter to Dr. Mihaila, and I want to share my opinions about the Catalyst project. And as you know, they deleted her comments from Littlefish proposal. I also want to tell that. Do you want me to tell anything else so I can write it to her?
I wasn't aware of that. Her comments were deleted from Idea Scale.
Yeah.
Related to Littlefish. Yeah.
Yes, we had 4.3 dropped to 3.8. We have all 5-star 2 comments deleted without any reason and explanation.
Well, I think what I heard was they were deleted if they didn't give feedback. So, if she's given, I just heard that though, if she's given you these great comments, but no feedback, then for some reason, some CAs decided to say those were not valid. And that, it's too centralized. Somebody's deciding what is good and what is bad. And, that definitely needs to be brought up to Dr. Mihaila. And Jem, if you want me to help you with the writing of it, you've got to contact me directly. If I get a reminder on a platform somewhere, I won't find it. So, just reach out to me and I can help you whatever way.
Thank you, Melanie.
How detailed? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, if they deleted that, they need to put some explanation, right? So how do you trust the system otherwise?
No, so it depends really how detailed. If it was just this is a great project, okay, without explanation, there is a guide to be a CA, right? And in the CA there is kind of, you need to explain, and they said there, if I think part of it, if it's just a very short sentence without explanation, all 5, so it's kind of not valid. And at least the guide says that. If she explained something related to the proposal, this proposal related to the impact of the challenge, and explain a little bit even, then. But what happened is that there was a lot of VCAs, SCAs that did copy and paste for their remarks, for example. And there was a lot of issues. I'm not saying here, I didn't see what she wrote in this specific one. I can look in that and see why it's not valid. But also don't forget that there's a lot of VCAs. It's not one VCA that decide, right? It's multiple VCAs. So it's really interesting to see what she wrote. If she just a very simple sentence. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying this is what the CA guide say. and some VCA just went and. For me, it was very tough to be actually VCA more than CA, and I almost didn't took out a proposal only when I really saw its copies and stuff like that. But it was very tough because someone worked on it, so you really try to see if you really read a proposal or not, or if you really did efforts or not. But it was more tough to be VCA than CA.
Yeah.
For me.
So in any case,
I will focus, Michaela, on the positive, on what you did, on the progress, that we finished the first donation process, that there is a team, there is work. My recommendation.
Okay, you're right.
And then it would be good to look at that comment too, and just say, that we've noticed this one was removed, and we can also give her feedback on it, from our understanding, our perspective. We really appreciate this rating that you gave us. Unfortunately, it was removed because of this, and that. And
also, it's very important to tell her, okay, it was not about the now, but we actually, it doesn't stop us, obviously, from progressing, from working, taking it to the next level. Right, it's not this funding that will set up the project.
Yeah, you're right. So Chakan wants to say something about the delegations and how to make the engagement, social engagement, and other stuff.
Right. I actually want to talk a little bit more about our organization. So there are a few areas where we need to make consistent progress, and I think it boils down to like setting up an organization structure where we can consistently do something. And one of those areas, of course, is building our community. We need someone to expand the Littlefish community through Discord, through Twitter. So we need someone responsible for that. We need to make consistent progress on things like the white paper, the boards, and those require like consistent check-ins, like feedbacks. We need to build some feedback cycles on our work to keep each other accountable. So I've been thinking about a little bit about how we can start to organize. I've been reading from a few different DAOs on getting ideas on how they're doing researching. But I think Nori also had a few ideas on how we can start working on a little bit more asynchronously.
Yeah, I think everyone is so busy these days, it's hard to keep adding more and more meetings to organize. So being able to, whenever you have time, to be able to join a conversation thread and contribute meaningfully, I think that'd be a great thing to figure out. And I think I'm a firm believer that community is like the key to everything. So I think finding a way to grow this community, get people involved, get them excited about what's happening here, should be a high priority. So marketing it, having standard meetups, talking about why Littlefish exists and what it's doing, would be good to have a meeting like that and not only have a technical meeting like this to figure out the platform itself, but also work the actual kind of the community side and have a community meeting on a regular basis might help it to grow. Because I think you need participation and you need people to jump in, and everybody here is pretty busy already. So we need more people to contribute where they can and do all that stuff. Just kind of my thoughts.
One other thing I'd like to say though is, the Cardano for Climate platform is for you to spam, you to use it to promote what you're doing, and don't ever be afraid of that. I trust you guys. There's a huge amount of trust there. Any way that, it's almost like we become the swarm role for the climate portion of the community, and maybe we'll have our own meetup, and we'll have specific groups and organizations that do events like we did with the Wednesday meetups. Become part of that Wednesday meetup and present at it what you're doing, check in on that one. That would be a really good one. And because my intention is to find people, be the funnel for people coming into Catalyst, and send them to the projects that they resonate with and that they connect with. I don't want them to stay in just Cardano for Climate, but to move out into other great projects like Littlefish. That's what I can offer, and I'll keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. We have to use Cardano for Climate channel.
Well, the announcement, the announcement channel right now from Littlefish goes to the Littlefish topic in Cardano for Climate, and it goes to Catalyst announcements. So, that goes directly there. If you make any announcements, they'll also go to Cardano for Climate.
Yeah. Elias raised that, and
yeah. I want to jump in what Melanie has said is to use Cardano for Climate as a gate to Catalyst. It was helping us along with our proposals, and we can have more synergies for community management, for example, in social media. We need that in Cardano for Climate, for Littlefish and other climate related projects that will Cardano for Climate support. So we can have some synergies. I don't know, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Dimitri, were you done, or Elias, were you done? Because
yeah, I'm done. Thank you. Yes, it's so my idea is to, if we have a community manager for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc., he can help with multiple accounts. So we can hire someone, a volunteer via LinkedIn, a trainee in marketing via social media, and he can help us help 4 or 5 projects in the same time. So the cost will be little and can be supported by projects already funded.
do you know anyone?
Yeah, my project, for example, we have a little project funded with 10K. So we will hire a trainee community manager, for example, and we talked in Cardano for Climate that we need to organize our social media front. So I'm thinking about having some synergies there. I can make like a job offer in LinkedIn or something like that for multiple projects related to climate. If you think it's useful.
Yeah, we can try it, I think.
Yeah, sounds really good. And if you find someone like that willing to do that, let's talk and share this person, because that's what we need to do, is share the resources. And then in that, we can become more sustainable with the funding.
Yeah, exactly. So I will made an offer in LinkedIn, a job offer for a trainee in marketing, and I will write something, a description, a little bit description, so we can hire someone. It's hiring someone with the climate awareness from a professional one that want to be trained, and we can help him and he will help us.
Yeah, also we need someone to manage Discord. Çağkan was talking about gamification of Discord, and this is a good thing, I think. We need to push the people to do something on the Discord channel.
Right. So some of the Discords that I've been to that are very good at this, they really make it a game that you're playing inside the Discord. So what you do is there's maybe a main message, and below that message, maybe you select the role that you want to be a part of. And once you select that role, the section of the Discord that is related to that role, the specific resources related to that role become available to you. And then you can go and look at what you can do to help the project, what you can do to contribute. But designing our Discord in this gamified manner, it's quite a lot of work by itself as well. But at some point, I think it should be on our minds to do something similar to that. But I think Dimitri has something he must say.
Yeah. So I want to find out, firstly, what is the time frame for the second round of funding to start of the Littlefish? And the second question is, environment is distinct from climate. So whether Cardano for climate also covers environmental related stuff, which is not necessarily pure climate change related projects as well, or only climate change related stuff. I've been presuming that both are interchangeable, but I just want to make sure.
And Yoram, you want to answer that, or
No, I let you. The tough questions I'll give you to answer. I'm answer the easy ones.
Perfect. So both, and that's my answer. We don't have it defined, Dimitri. We're allowing the community to define where we fit and where we go with this. Nobody's telling us this is the way it has to be or putting us in a box. We're listening to every voice, every project that comes along, even if it's on a different blockchain. We just need to be open. So yeah, that's my opinion anyways. And I don't know. Yeah.
And my first question regarding the second round.
Sorry, I didn't hear that one.
So the second round of funding. No, so I think that the platform now move. I mean, after the first experience, the platform is going to move into a platform that lists the NGOs, and then everyone can donate directly to whoever you want. So there's not going to be a closed round like we had before, but everyone can donate at any given time to anyone that you want to donate. And so it's going to be different. And then, there's no vote in the, So when it's happening, I think, that's a good question based on the roadmap. But I think what we decided to do now is kind of go a step back a little bit and work about a little bit on the business canvas and kind of definition of things before we go into the development. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chairman Jack.
Yeah, you are right.
I think so as well. I think maybe for this next phase, we figure out the entire platform and then see what we want to actually start to build. And maybe the next time that we're doing the donations, it might be with very basic scripts and maybe some actual code. But I think only time will tell. Maybe in a month or so, we'll be at a better position to actually decide on that.
Good, guys. Hey, we have 4 minutes more, and I need to go and listen 4 minutes. But everyone can say what?
Agenda is okay. We don't have anything to talk about. It's free now.
Yeah. So I think these last couple of weeks were crazy. At least this week was completely nuts, and you did a lot of progress. Yeah. let's see how we can help for next week and going forward.
Okay, thank you very much.
Think about Magnus if you want to have a chat with him,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
have a
we
call
will
with
go.
him. I will connect with you to have a chat, show him what you do, see if he's interested to support. If yes, I think he's great because he's an excellent UI UX guy.
Yeah, that will be good.
Perfect. So I have your email address.
Sorry?
Can you share your email address? I will make an email intro.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
sure.
And Jem, thank you so much for taking this on. You know, this is such a huge job, and you know, it's disappointing not to have the funding, you know, this around, and you know, I hope you'll be
Yeah.
open about what you need from us, you know, to operate, because I know a lot of this is coming out of your own pocket, and you know, I know how generous you are.
Thank you, Melanie.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to have a broad community. That's all we need right now.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Because I can give
Yeah.
you that. I can help give you that. The money part, not so much, but connecting, I can do that.
Yeah.
Anything else you need?
No. Thank you. Your support is unbelievable. Thank you for all of you.
No, thank you. I mean, it's an incredible vision, and step by step, we'll get there.
Yes.
Yep.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there.
Yeah. See you on Wednesday.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And anytime you
Thank
want to
you.
add to the meetup on Wednesdays, just let us know, you know, update the community, connect, because that's a really
Okay.
big important one. If you disappear for too long, you know, then people don't know, they think you've left the building. So
Yeah.
keep connecting whenever you can.
Okay.
Just what you need
Okay.
to do is add another thing on your to-do list.
Okay.
Yeah, and for Fund 8, one of the ideas that can happen, so there is the core maybe proposal that maybe is other proposal that can be done through collaboration with other partners, like an NGO, for example, or another project. We spoke today with Save the Rhinos, right, or Black Rhino project that also didn't get funded. That maybe a collaboration actually will make sense somehow. So you can have the core proposal and then also a couple of other proposals. So that's just an idea, but we can think about it.
The other suggestion that came up today was NFTs for good. You know, with Emergo doing an NFT marketplace, why not have vetted NFTs for good? And so let's allow these other organizations and templates to form. So, you know, take some of the burden off of what you're trying to do on all platforms and focus on, you know, the things that you can do. The tokenomics will come, the NFTs will come, the marketing will come. Yeah. Sorry, I feel like I'm trying to get the last word. I'm going to shut up now.
Well, I don't think we can say anything after Melanie, so we gotta.
Melanie, last week you wanted something to be done on Slido. Do you still want that to be done? If so, can you send me the question? I can see, I haven't done it before, but I can look at it if you need it to be done.
What do you mean? Dimitri,
Last week, Melanie was talking about doing some questions on Slido. So she wanted me to do something to set it up. So I haven't done it before, but I can look at doing it. It shouldn't be very complicated. So if you can send me the questions, I can do that.
Good. Okay, Dimitri, let's communicate over Telegram on that one. Perfect. Thanks. Okay, Jim, thank you so much. You guys, if you need
Okay.
me to say the last word, I'll say the last word. Really appreciate everything you're doing.
See you.
You give me hope for the future. We are going to get this figured out. So really, really, really appreciate you all.
Thank you very much.